Yo everyone, hope you're having a great day. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make an ambient trap beat by breaking down one of my ambient trap beats. So we're going to get straight into it. But before we get straight into it, I've got a question for you. What are the best patches to make ambient beats? Don't know? Well, good news is I'm going to be revealing the answer later on in the video, so stay tuned. This is the #1 spot for musicians and creatives that don't want to be starving artists. So if that sounds like you, click on that subscribe button and check out the rest of the content on the channel because you will love it here, guaranteed. Now let's get straight into this, shall we? Now, I made this beat 20th of August, so last month, and it's a good beat, you know, this is good stuff. This is basically what I've been trying to go for the past year, but I just didn't know the name of the type of beat and that sort of stuff. But I'm gonna play this back to you a little bit so you can learn how to make these ambient trap beats as well. So we're gonna play basically from the intro to the verse to the chorus, and then we're gonna circle back and I'm gonna explain pretty much all the elements in it, all the major elements at least. So let's go through.
This is called Raid Cooking.
Okay, that was mixed wrong. Okay, that repeats, so I need to do that again. Okay, so what is going on here? We're gonna explain it bit by bit. Most of it, yeah, is just using the same melody again and again on different layers, like you've seen in my other videos. Like, this is the basics of production. Like, you create the melody, you add a few layers, but then we've got a bunch of stuff happening on the playlist after we turn it into audio to give us different effects. Okay, let's get into it. Now, first of all, this was the melody. Let's just turn this on. It's not a guitar, but this is my guitar trap beat mixing template. But first of all, we got the melody. So this was the melody. Let's just play this back. Okay, so that's the melody. Honestly, I got this from, like, I got this chord structure, like how to make these chords, from Bro Beats. Like, he's got a tutorial on how to make chords for ambient beats, and it just gave me like really great chords because I was going through a funk of like hadn't made a beat in ages, everything was sounding terrible, and this worked out really great. I think he even told you like how to make a little melody, but I added a bit more to it, of course, and created my own thing. And then once you've got this melody, like, it's very simple. There's not a lot going on here. Once you got this, it's basically just main chords and then leading into the next, you know, main set of chords. So here is just straight chords playing, nothing complicated going on. And then here we've got a hit and a few notes to lead into this chord. And then we've got a bit of a top melody going on here that basically just leads down here. And then we've got this that just leads right back over here. So that's that. Let's play it one more time. that's that. Sounds pretty beautiful if I do say so myself. especially when I was in a funk of not being able to make melodies whatsoever. Now, that is the first thing. Like the first thing you got to do is create the melody. Once you got the melody, you just copy and pasting it to different layers. Now, the different layers that I've got is a main pad, which is this analog keys pad over here. I'm gonna reveal all the patches that I've used at like later on in the video, so we don't take up a bunch of time going through everything that I used. Plus, I had to delete all the VSTs because they were beating up my computer, and every time I would open this, it wouldn't let me do anything because I had so many VSTs just beating up. So this is what the main pad sounds like. And then with that main pad, we added some pad texture. So another pad that just adds texture. So let's play that by itself. And then together. Now, with these types of beats, the most important thing, like, because you want to keep the melodies very simple, you just want to be doing chords with a little bit of, melody moving into the next chord and stuff. But apart from that, the textures are what's going to make your beat either good or bad. So having these textures really, really important. Now, next up, we have a reverse chop of these chords. So this is the analog pad just reversed. So it's basically like this chord reversed into, I think it's like, let me quickly unreverse it to see what chord it actually is. I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is all of it didn't sound good, but like the reverse here and the reverse there sounded good. So let's play this back. In order to create this, what I did was obviously I bounced the analog pad into audio, and then you just go into it and you reverse it. So let me give you an example. We go to make unique, then you reverse it, and then you just cut it up and put it in the reverse order. So this would go to the front, this would go second, this would go third, so on and so forth, until you've recreated the whole thing so that it's the exact same chord progression, just reversed. And here's what the reverse stuff sounds like by itself. So just a bit of lead up. Also, I, added a bunch of reverb to it in order to get the reverse texture that we want and get that done. So yeah, you wouldn't actually use this. You'd use the same signal and add a bunch of reverb to it, then bounce that down, then reverse it. But you use the same method that I showed you in order to, get back at the front. So let's play this back real quick and you'll hear, most of what's going on, and then, it's the vocal chop. So let's add in the vocal chop so you can kind of just hear what's going on. So I think that's the only time I used the full vocal chop at the beginning. Then from then on, this is what the vocal chop sounds like. Like I just use the end part so it doesn't like get too much in the way. Then the next thing we've got is pads. So after we do our main pad, we then have the chorus pads, I like to call them. So let's actually bring these out. Oh no, just this pad by itself, because generally I'll put these pads in the chorus just so you get a feeling that something new's happening, and it's a nice texture as well, and it blends in well with everything else. It's also at a different part of the EQ spectrum. I'm using my guitar trap beat mixing template for this, but I'm editing it and changing it into my pop trap beat mixing template. So you can grab the guitar trap beat mixing template or my other beat mixing templates down below. When the pop trap one is out, definitely grab that for your ambient trap songs, okay? So let's play this back, this chord pad, right? It's the same melody that we took from everything else. And I wouldn't have it in the same octave as our main pad. I'd have it like an octave higher like this. And then we've got another chord. No, actually, this is two pads together to create this texture. I'm going to reveal what those pads are down below. But then, well, not down below, later on in the video. But then we've got our chord up. So let's play this back. And if you watch any of my videos, you know what this is. Astrovision's the only one I ever use. I'm going to create some ups and then I'll start using different ones soon. Okay, so up, and then we've got this reverse texture. I've forgotten exactly what this is. Our chord up reverse. Okay, so this is what this sounds like. It's the up and it's been reversed. And slathered with reverb. And if you want to hear that in action, oh, we also got this. This is another reverse. This is the analog pad reversed. So this is just, you know, the whole analog pad just reversed. But I got rid of the main analog pad here. So let's come back here and you'll hear it, what it sounds like. And that creates a nice, you know, build up to the chorus instead of just having the same main pad again and again and again. And when you do cut up stuff like this, like you can like have the same chord hit twice and do a bunch of creative stuff that's actually quite fun. So definitely, if you're not doing it already, change your MIDI into audio and play about with it. So those are the main melodic elements. And then we've got stuff like, you know, we got the synth bass, by the way. Totally forgot about that, always forget about that, but we'll do that when we get to the drums. The only other things that really add a lot to this is we've got this vinyl loop, which is just some texture. Again, you could use RC20 for this, but I use this loop from Sicky Beats. Like, he's got a free pack that you can download, and this has this vinyl loop in it, and I add this as well as using RC20 as well. So this is what that sounds like. Well, you know what vinyl sounds like, but I'm going to play it back anyways. Not that loud, yeah, but it makes a difference. And then we've got this drum loop. And I'm going to start using a lot more drum loops. I'm actually going to subscribe to Splice because I had like a trial on Splice before, but I didn't understand why I'd ever use it because I've got drum kits already. And it's like, what's the point of, why do I need to get a new kick every time I make a beat or a new clap or whatever? But to get a bunch of drum loops, like drum loops add so much to your drums, like just background perk loops like this. So this is like another background perk loop. It's a clock tick. And I actually got that from Epidemic Sounds. So that's that. And then we've got the drums. So the drums are as follows. We got the clap on the 3. We got a snare on the 3. I could play these back if you really want to, but you know what they are. They're clap and snares, yeah? Then we got the hi-hat, and we've got it like every other hi-hat is turned down like this. Let's loop this. Very simple hi-hat roll. I didn't really do much here, just kept it very simple, as you tend to want to do with these ambient trap beats, but I could have added a few more rolls, you know, to just have fun. And then we got a snare, which, you know, is hitting in that classic place to go to the next thing. You know what I'm talking about. You've heard it many times. You know what I'm talking about. Let's play it back. You know it. It leads into the clap basically. That's always a good place to put it. And then we've got the 808s, which are over here, and the kicks. So let's play these 808. This is the piano roll for that. Usually, I never ever do slides because I just don't know how to, I never learned how to do them. So I experimented a little bit with this and I think it came out pretty nice still. Like I kind of started to learn how to do the slides and to get kind of things that I want. And yeah, that came out pretty nice. And then we got the kick, which is basically just the same thing. Let's play them together. So we do have the kick hitting at some places where the 808 does not hit, gives it a bit of bounce. And that's that. The only other things that I didn't mention are the risers and the crashes, which basically just lets you know something's coming up and then crashes you into it. Oh yeah, and the synth bass, which is just bass. Okay, so let's play this back so you can hear where the bass is. I'm just following the bass notes. I think maybe I changed it up a little bit. So yeah, that's not originally in the chords. And this is different. It's supposed to go. So I changed this up. Just for some variation, because usually I'll just do the same thing again and again and again. But when you add variation, and not too much variation, but when you add a little variation, still keep it repetitive, it just sounds better. So you already know what the beat sounds like, so I'm not going to play it again. But that is pretty much everything. Now, I did want to add something that you should think about when it comes to these textures, like the vinyl texture and stuff like that. This is the place where you can have a lot of fun with your ambient beats. Try stuff like the sound of water, the sound of crowds, the sound of rain. Like experiment with that sort of stuff. Don't make it too loud, but have it in the background, and that actually adds a lot. Like you'll tell if these things aren't in it. Like if I get rid of all these textures, yeah, it's a different experience.
This is called great cooking.
And then if I add all these textures back in,
this is called great cooking.
like it sounds fuller, it sounds like more stuff is going on, and you're not really doing that much. Like there's a pad texture, there's a little bit of reversal, there's a vocal chop. Like not doing too much, but it makes so much of a difference. Now, earlier on, I asked you a question. It's time to answer that question from earlier. That question was, what are the best patches to make ambient beats? And I've actually got this all written in my notebook because I had to write this sort of stuff down because I had to delete all the patches from the project so that I could actually get back into my projects without it just automatically crashing. So we've got 6 patches from Omnisphere. I'm going to tell you those patches now. Write this down. Like you can pause and write down and come back. So a texture patch, I think is the main texture patch that we're using on track 4 here, is Reducer Rhodes Guitarette. That's in Omnisphere. Then we've got Piano Otherworldly Toy Piano. That's a good piano patch. That's in Omnisphere. Here's a few pads. Pad, Luscious Airwaves Warm Pad, Omnisphere. Warm Pad Ice Wheel Swell, that's in Omnisphere as well. We've got another pad which is not in Omnisphere, it's in Analog Pad, and that's the After Pad. Then we've got the ARP that I always use, in Astral Visions, in Omnisphere. Then we got vocal chops, which I get them from Arcade. Generally, I will use the Distant Voices. That's the one that I generally use, but you can use Hooked and the rest of them, you might get some good stuff from that. And then the synth bass that I use is called the Growler, and that is from Omnisphere as well. So those are all the ambient patches that you want to be trying out. If you don't have Omnisphere, I'm sorry, because that's basically what I use a lot. But you can find a lot of this stuff in Analog Labs, which is great as well. Like they've got other, you know, stuff that you can create and stuff that you can play with in there. So definitely check these things out. If you want to learn how to create your own beats from scratch, then grab my easy 9-step trap beat making formula. Link down below. Go to jcarterray.com/free trap course. That course will walk you from the beginning to the end of making a trap beat, and it's completely free, so you lose nothing by joining. Go and join it before it goes away, because it won't be available forever. Sign up, link down below now. You can also grab my beat mixing templates, links in the description down below. If you got any questions or any other tutorials you want me to make, please let me know in the comment section down below. In the next video, you'll learn more about music, online business, and online marketing. I'll see you there. Peace out.